Hey, welcome to 5 and 5 Sin City Picks. It's the pick show where we give you 5 picks in 5 minutes. Today we're going to cover UFC 149. All right, UFC 149. We're going to start at the top of the card here. Chris Clements versus Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle coming in at 6-3. Interesting note here, Matt Riddle, all 9 fights of his have been in the UFC. He's got 1 finish by KO. Otherwise, everything's gone to a decision. He's got coming off that split decision win over Henry Martinez, and he's about 3-3 in his last 6 fights. He's coming up against Chris Clements. Chris Clements is 11-4, 10 knockout finishes. He's 1-0 in his UFC career. Interesting note here, Chris Clements does have a win over Rich Clemente. He's also got a win over Jonathan Goulet. I'm going to give the edge here to Chris Clements. I think just his knockout power, his ability to finish is going to be the edge maker here, going with Chris Clements. All right, second fight on the card, we've got Brian Ebersol versus James Head. Brian Ebersol coming in with a record of 50-14-1. He's got a win over TJ Wahlberger in his last outing. Looked really good in it. His submission defense is the key here, I think, in this matchup. He's 4-0 in his UFC career. And, you know, his last loss, interesting enough, was to Hector Lombard back in 2006. So he's got a nice little stretch with no losses. He's going up against James Head. James Head 1-1 in his UFC career. He's 8-2. He's got a submission win over Papi Abed in his last fight. And over his career, he's got 4 knockouts and 3 submissions. James Head definitely a finisher. I think the difference here is that Brian Ebersol has got that submission defense, so I don't think James Head is going to finish him. I'm taking Brian Ebersol with a decision. Next fight on the card, you got Cheick Kongo versus Shawn Jordan. Cheick Kongo coming in at 17-7-2. He's got 10 knockouts, 3 submissions in his career. He is coming off that loss to Mark Hunt in a really great fight. It's always interesting to watch. You know, it's always a mixed bag with Cheick Kongo, but we'll see how he goes in this one. Against Shawn Jordan. Shawn Jordan coming in at 13-3. He's got 9 knockouts and 3 submissions. 1-0 in his UFC career. He does have a submission win over Lombard Johnson earlier in his career in Strikeforce. This is a little bit of an interesting matchup. I think overall, though, Cheick Kongo is going to take this one by decision, and I'm going to give the nod to Cheick Kongo. Co-main event of the night, a match that a lot of people have been looking forward to. We've got Hector Lombard versus Tim Boetsch. Hector Lombard, 31-2-1. He's coming in for his UFC debut. He's 17 knockouts in his career, and he's got 7 submissions. His last loss was in 2006 to Gegard Mousasi. A lot of people really hyped up to see this fight. I think it's kind of a bad matchup for him, though. He's going in against Tim Boetsch. Tim Boetsch, 15-4. He's got 7 knockouts and 5 submissions. He's on a 3-fight win streak, and he just came off that tough performance against Yushin Okami, where he came back from behind and got that knockout. I'm going to still give the edge there here to Hector Lombard. I think Hector Lombard, his grappling game, I think is going to be a little bit better than Tim Boetsch's. And if he catches Tim with any of his, his striking, I think he's going to have the edge there. So I'm going to give the nod to Hector Lombard, although this is going to be a tough matchup for him. Okay, main event of the night, we've got Urijah Faber versus Henan Pagado. Urijah Faber, the California kid, 26-5. He's got 7 knockouts and 14 submissions in his career. He's coming off that rear naked choke victory over Brian Bowles. Then you got Henan Pagado. He's 28-1. The only loss of this kid's career was his very first fight as a mixed martial artist. So he's gone 28 straight wins, 6 knockouts, 3 submissions. He's got submission wins over Brad Pickett, and he's coming off of that decision win over Scott Jorgensen. Man, this is a really tough one to call. Personally, I think Urijah Faber's just on the tail end of his career here, and I'm going to go with Henan Pagado. I think he's going to take it for the interim championship, and then we'll see him in there versus Dominic Cruz. As always, for additional coverage and exclusive content, make sure and check us out at FightLifeMedia.com, where we're covering MMA from the ground up.